Okay, so let me share my screen so that you all can see. Awesome. If you have any questions or anything that kind of pops up, still put them in the chat. We are more than happy to kind of still have that for you. So welcome to video marketing. This is just going to be a quick introduction for you all. We have about 30 minutes today to kind of go over everything. But if you do have questions as we go forward, please don't hesitate to put them in the chat. We'll make sure to get to them since Christina and I are kind of co-presenting together. One of us will always kind of be watching the chat. So don't hesitate to put any comments in there. Additionally, this is an introduction, so we are going to hit on some of the major tips. But if you have additional tips that you think would be super helpful for other people, because I know that there are some marketing people in here as well as some others, don't hesitate to share out. We would love to hear them as we go forward, and we'll make sure to leave time at the end for any additional questions that might have popped up for what we were hitting on. Okay, so that did not work. There we go. So to kind of start off, who are we? So Christina and I are actually two of the advisors for the business, entrepreneurship, and consulting career community. So in that, the Career Center is kind of built around these career communities, so around different industries and different focus areas in this business, entrepreneurship, consulting. As you guessed it, that is kind of our main focus. And as part of that, we do a little bit of that marketing side as well. So today we figured that that would be a pretty good skill to learn, especially during these crazy times, pandemics and whatnot that are going on. We wanted to make sure that you all had another skill to kind of add to your tool belt to make sure that you are successful.
Awesome. Thank you, Kaylin. Okay, so today we're gonna go over skills for video marketing. So we're gonna first start off by talking about what video marketing is. We're gonna just kind of give you guys an introduction to that. We're gonna talk about the process behind creating marketing videos. Identifying trends, the audience that we want to reach in the types of videos that we're creating. And then we're going to go and talk a little bit about how marketing videos are used. But before we get started, we want to show you guys an example of a video that we actually created for the Career Center a few months back, just to kind of get everything started off. And then we'll explain a little bit more about the inspiration behind this video and why we decided to create it, but we'll go ahead and show you guys that right now. Okay, so I'm not sure if you all were able to hear the sound for that because it wasn't coming up on my end, but it was basically a Full House themed video, and we'll talk a little bit more about it, but just to kind of get our community familiar with our career advisors. But let's go ahead and just get right into it. So we're going to talk about, so what is video marketing? Oh no, okay, thank you.
All right.
Video marketing, so it's basically a way to promote your product or service through video, digitally, right? So, a lot of times in the past and even till now, we'll see a lot of blog posts or articles that explain a product. But what's really great about video marketing, it's a way to reach your audience and increase engagement through a 1 to 2 minute video. And the audience is actually able to visualize and kind of see in action the product or service that's being promoted and advertised. And I think, now that's so effective, especially because our society has become so used to gathering information through social media. So whether that's through a Facebook post or, an Instagram story, social media has become a really great place to kind of share your product, whether it's a clothing brand or, um, fitness products or whatever it really may be. Social media has really become the place to do that. And then also, it's a really great way, uh, a really great skill to have for future jobs. So, creating those campaign strategies. A few months ago, a lot of companies had to go remote and start working from home, and this was sort of a new thing for some companies, and really the only way they were able to reach their audience was through video and digitally, and it's really shown to be effective. So it's definitely going to be a skill that's going to be sticking around long term. So that's really something great to have on your resume, and to be able to show to future companies when you're applying for different types of jobs.
Yeah, especially if you are, even if you're not doing marketing, but you're doing another job, part of this is going to pop up in some of those future jobs as pieces to part of the business in order to be successful, whether it's running your own business or product management or having to work with marketing teams. Now you have a little bit better understanding of what goes into it.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay, so we wanted to make sure to hit on like why actually use a video. So Christina hit on this a little bit already, but it's really about the emotional aspect. So it's always been shown that through written word, you can't always read the emotional connotation or like the actual meaning behind some of what is written. So through a video, you're actually able to connect a little bit better, have a more of that connection. It also hits on some of those different learning styles where somebody might be a visual learner or an audio learner. So this kind of hits on some of those as you move forward. Additionally, it allows you to connect with your audience in a different way so that you're not just really relying on a printed form, but instead you're also connecting with audience as if it was in person. And then it creates a compelling way to tell a story as you kind of move forward in kind of making some of those connections through it. So through that, you might be wondering, well, what are the steps to actually creating a marketing video? So we're going to go over these 3 steps. The big one that always comes up is identifying your audience. So when we were initially creating that video that you saw right at the start, we knew that we had a bunch of students that didn't necessarily know about the Career Center or what was still available to them. And we wanted to make sure to let them know, hey, we're still here for you, wanting to connect. So really it was, hey, this is the audience that we wanted to hit on. That's really key because a video like the one that we use where it was a little bit more TikTok inspired is really going to hit more of like that younger generation, if I can call myself young. But then you can also, but it wouldn't necessarily hit like an older generation because they might not necessarily care as much about that. And you would have a different approach when working with them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Totally. Yeah, and so kind of going off of that a little bit, it's also really important to identify trends. So kind of going, back to TikTok, when we were deciding that we wanted to create that video, we actually came across this TikTok that inspired us to make this video for our students. So
do you want me to play it?
Sure.
Maybe.
I don't know if it'll.
It's coming.
Yay.
He's my favorite.
And yeah, all very creative. So yeah, again, that was just a video of doctors doing funny things to the Full House theme song, and we just thought that that would be a fun way to kind of reach our students as well. So the trends, so TikTok at the time was becoming really popular because people were working home and remotely.
Having lots of time on their hands.
Yeah, a lot of time on their hands, that's for sure. You know, spending hours on the app. And doing some more research, you know, so Instagram has always, for a while now, actually been a really great way to be able to utilize video marketing. So Instagram Live, Instagram Stories, you know, Instagram Stories are, I think, no longer than 15 seconds long. And so a lot of times companies will post the product that they're trying to sell on their Instagram stories so that their followers will be able to kind of engage and, again, see in action the service. Vlogging, you know, YouTube videos, again, have also been around for a really long time, and there are all different types of YouTube videos. So tutorial videos, educational, demonstration videos. And what's actually really cool about YouTube is there are actually videos that kind of show you the style of how to actually increase engagement. So literally videos are like, you know, what types of colors to use that, you know, your audience may be attracted to, how to actually style your videos and things like that, to be able to create those effective videos. And then again, TikTok, my favorite personally, but these are just all ways that are all really great trends to utilize for video marketing.
Cool. So the big one is like then how to reach that audience. Social media branding is probably going to be the easiest one when it comes to video marketing. You can utilize all of the different ones that we just talked about to be able to. So not only are you then researching the trends, but then you can utilize that knowledge to be able to say like, okay, this targeted audience got to see this video. Can we do the same thing in our social media branding? And the other one is determining the source of where it's coming from. So there's lots of different video equipment that you can be able to utilize and where all of the information is going to come. So when we were creating our initial video, we knew that the content or the source was going to be the advisors themselves. So in kind of building that out, Christina did a great job of jumping on and being the project manager in the capacity of reaching out to all of those different ones and collaborating with them to get the right content and be able to provide some of that research that we had done before so that we knew what her goal for that video was going to be.
Yeah.
So to learn about video marketing, so to learn more about video marketing, it should say.
Yes. Perfect. So to learn more about video marketing. So we were talking about this a little bit earlier, watching YouTube videos to keep up with the latest trends. There's a YouTube video on literally almost everything. So that's a really great place to start to kind of see the style that you want to take, really understanding the brand that you want to utilize, discovering what you're interested in and determining style. Again, you know, kind of having that passion for the video that you're creating. The audience is really going to be able to recognize that. So putting your personal style into it is really going to be helpful. And then this over here is there are tons of free courses to learn a little bit more about video marketing. And yeah, here's the link. So once you click on that, you'll be able to go through this and kind of just see these courses that are going to help you go into a little bit more depth about it. Coursera.
So
really great.
Share out the presentation so that you have access to all of these links so that you can see some of this. So these are some really good resources of like how to actually go about creating it or finding different ways. So Canvas is a really great tool to be able to help start branding it. And most of them have educational videos to be able to help you kind of make some of those connections as you move forward.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. And then, and then also, again, like Kaylin said, we're going to send this out to you guys, but here's also a really great article that talks a lot about video marketing trends. That's a really interesting read. Also getting connected, so utilizing LinkedIn and LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning has really amazing videos that go into depth about specific skills related to video marketing. So that's something we really encourage you guys to check out. And once you've kind of done a little bit more research, kind of getting more hands-on with it. So a really great place to start is iMovie. iMovie is very user-friendly, and it kind of gives you the basics of how to create a video and get started on there. Again, and there are tons of videos and articles that explain, if something is confusing, the functions of it. And then also Adobe Creative Cloud is a little bit more advanced, but there's, once you start getting into more like After Effects and Illustrator and things like that, that's a really great tool to utilize. And I think I'm pretty sure there's a student discount for Adobe Creative Cloud. So if you guys want
actually through DePaul, you can get it for free.
Oh, okay, well, great.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say though, Adobe has a pretty steep learning curve. So it's definitely worth learning if you are interested in kind of building this out. And while you're still a student, you're able to get it for free. So it doesn't necessarily cost you as much. But that is a skill all in itself that can be super useful to helping you be successful in your future jobs.
Exactly.
Okay. So I think that hits on most everything that we were going to talk about today. So this is our time to kind of answer any additional questions. We wanted to make sure to save plenty of time at the end if you had any. But as a quick plug before we do so, if you liked what we were talking about or you have additional skills, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. we do a skills lab, just like the one that we're doing right now. So make sure to check those out. There is a variety of different ones coming up that are really going to be helpful to be successful in kind of that future job and what you're thinking about. Or if you are in the midst of a job search and want to talk more about how to take those skills and put them on your resume or talk about them during an interview, you can always schedule an appointment. Christina and I both are available for appointments, but you can also meet with one of the other advisors. There's 12 of us in total that are happy to be able to kind of meet with different students and talk about your careers and how to be successful. So, but let me stop sharing and see what questions pop up. Okay, so this is the time. If you have any questions, put them in the chat and we can continue to talk more.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. What are some of the trends in effective video marketing that you know about? So the big one that kind of comes to mind, if you don't mind me talking first, Christina, is really identifying kind of the audience. So TikTok is huge, and the beauty of it is that TikTok has an editor within it that you can utilize to kind of make some of these videos happen. And then how we did it kind of here in the Career Center was we created that video and then we downloaded it and put it onto Instagram. So using it for a multimodal approach, that's a huge trend that's coming about just because it makes it so that your life is a little bit easier and you can make it a little bit faster. There's a lot of different ones that kind of come about that you can be able to use to talk about.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's a really great way to get started to kind of see what trends people are interested in, because it's literally changing every single day. So I think that that's a really great place to start for sure.
And Margie actually just put a link in the tab that goes to an article that talks a lot about different trends that are happening in video marketing. And I actually clicked on it, and the very first one was the next one that I was going to say, which was live streaming. So a lot of different companies and a lot of different like influencers are really utilizing live streaming as a way to kind of engage with their audience and build more of that personal connection. So that's a really great one to be able to kind of highlight. Be able to utilize to your advantage when wanting to build more of that personable connection with the audience that you're hitting on.
Yeah, I think especially in the last few months, live streaming has become so huge because it's really become the only way that, you know, influencers are really able to engage with their audience. So
Great question. Other questions that pop up?
Thank you so much for that. That was awesome. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, thanks for coming.
Any other questions from anybody else? It's kind of an open floor. We have a couple minutes left. Doesn't necessarily look like it. So really quick, before you all disappear, I'm launching a poll right now. In this poll, it just has a couple of brief questions. Through the Career Center, we are trying to make sure that we provide content that you are looking for and that it's actually helpful for you all. So if you could do this poll really quickly before you disappear, we really appreciate it. And thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate you all kind of attending. Hopefully you got something effective and efficient through this. But once you've completed the poll, I think we are done and wrapping up, but we'll make sure to stick around for a little while afterwards so that if you do have any additional questions, we can answer them.